Hi. Sometimes the things you want the most are the things that you're blocking the most by holding on to it. We are kind of not taught, and once we work through this today in this reading, we'll be able to have mental clarity over this and kind of see a direction for where we're supposed to go. We're not taught to manifest things in the way that is natural to our being. It's just not something that we're taught in this world in the way that it is, and that's why there are people like you to learn how to do this, and then be the example. So like most of it is really being the example when no one's looking, when no one's watching, when you're just by yourself, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror. Like, are you like, hey, hi? Or are you like, I'm weird, you know? So those thoughts and those perceptions of yourself are what are manifesting, all of them. So you can have two at the same time. And it's so cliche, but it is about the process, because once you have the thing externally, you're going to be looking for the next thing, and you're also going to be wishing you were in a different state. I have been reflecting on my own life, and that has definitely been a theme. Like the times where I've felt emotionally like I was broken the most, I'm wanting now, wishing I was in those positions without responsibilities, right? But there's something that your immediate reality is giving you. There's something that you learned. You're never not learning. You're going through life, you're making decisions. They don't have to pile up and be like a bunch of shit that you have to deal with. You made those decisions for a reason. So why don't you capitalize on why you made decisions the way you did? Why? You have kids? You have animals now? Do you have debt? Like, okay, you made those decisions, but that's part of life. That's a life. That's the game of life. You're not going to be able to know how to help people with money in the future if you didn't have bad credit yourself, if you weren't broke yourself. Like, there's a level of mastery that happens when you're literally nothing. Like, you're literally nothing, but you believe that you're nothing because you have nothing. And you have, or negative, you're all in debt and all the shit. And then you start building up, and you start seeing in a way that is right for you. You start building that clarity in yourself. What's important to you? You know, what's important to you? What makes your life? What kind of things do you write down and draw when you have the opportunity to, or when you're doing a self-reflection exercise, or you're doing that at a course, or you're doing that in a group setting, in a thing that you paid for or something? You know, you get in there and you're like, all right, let's do our intentions, let's do our like picture of what we want. I always drew a group of people sitting around the campfire. People, not money, not me in the office working, not me necessarily even doing videos. I mean, I do enjoy reflecting this way because I believe everyone is a reflection of each other, and it's like, it's just fun to be able to use the body in this way and like look back and see. But all that aside, what is it that you just come back to, that you always just, that makes you feel warm and safe? How, you don't have to know exactly how to create that, but we're embodying it, we're going closer to it. Progress. That's crazy. I'm looking at the cards. I got these so I can understand the actual meanings of them really for validation, because I'm channeling mostly. I started off channeling, then I started using cards. Well, I started using cards like really early, but I got away from them for a while, just kept channeling, but I had a lot of self-doubt. So I started using the cards again, and they have the meanings right on them. And so sometimes you focus too much on the things that you lost, you know? Hey, come here. Hey. You focus a lot on the things that you lost. And that's a certain mindset that comes with. That's a certain nihilism and protection mechanism. It's not necessarily bad. That you learned to protect yourself. Okay, you learn to expect things to fade away, and then because you're expecting them to fall apart, you're neglecting the actions to keep them in place. Like, did you ever you're in a relationship and you're like, I'm just not good enough for this, like, they deserve more, and then you end up doing no actions to make them stay, and then you end up probably subconsciously sabotaging things, and then they blow up at you, or like, then it ends, and you're like, oh my god, what? But you were unconscious, so you were like, you didn't even know any of that was going on behind the scenes. So it's an interesting thing, and it's like, oh, this opportunity I lost. But we focus on that, but it's like way over here in the past. On my spread, it's like on the left, like in the past. And then we have all this stuff moving forward. Progress. There's so many things to do. Like, there's so many actions you can take. There's so many new pathways you can do in the world. But what is it that's keeping us stuck? Let's ask. What is it that's actually keeping us stuck? Actually, let me use another deck. What is it that's keeping us stuck on the past? Because, like, all of our attention is going to the past, but we have all this stuff to look forward to. And I do automatically kind of perceive it's, like, definitely a more childhood, an aspect of your childhood where you are fighting against with yourself. Yeah. You're perceiving it to be a lot more trapping those feelings than you have a lot more power in the situation than you think you realize, based on the way that it feels and the way that you're thinking about it. Now, I don't want to just say that, because there has to be a level of understanding. There has to be, it's not necessarily time, but compassion, like time in like reps of compassion is what I'm getting. Like, it's like the amount of times you rep that compassion when you think about those situations. Like, I can see specific situations, like in your very early childhood, where you think about it and you're aware of some of these things, or most of them, and you're like, ugh, and every time you come back to that, ugh, instead of allowing yourself to believe that you're a worthless piece of shit because that happened to you, which is totally okay that you think that. It's totally okay that your mind goes there, because you're conditioned to believe that, and you're assuming that based on how you were treated. But the work and the coming awakeness, the becoming awakened to these things, which, by the way, anything that you're going through, you're going to be helping other people, even if you're not physically talking to them. Just by you alchemizing this, you're helping the planet with these same situations. And you come back to that situation, or it pops up, and you go, you know what? I was 3. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. I look at a 3-year-old. Is there anything that you can do as a 3-year-old? People, I don't think people are necessarily evil, but I think on a very grounded perspective, like, the same thing happened to them, and they know it's bad, but they are trying to avoid the work and the pain so much that the release of the actions that are bad help them in some way, and it gives them a sense of purpose and power. And you have fought many battles to be able to be where you're at. I just want you to take a second to reflect on that. Like, whoa man, you didn't have to fucking be here today. You didn't have to be here today. But you chose to continue. And maybe this is significant for some reason. I think it's because I was like, where's the tip? But the tip actually is knocked off in real life. There is no tip on the pyramids of Giza, I don't think. And that is said to be like a gold-plated triangle that was like the conductor of, yeah, it had to have been gold, because gold is really more conductive than copper, I think. But that was what conducted all of the, this is a energy generator. That's what the pyramids are. You could look that up and research all that. I'm not going to go into how it is, but the tip of it was the conductor point, just like an Oregon pyramid, with the metals in it. But this, they had like a tip of gold to make the whole thing work. So it's just like you've been chipped off. It's like that tip of gold, you had the whole fucking thing. It works. Yeah, it's old and dusty. Yeah, but it fucking works, and I can't get past the color of it. It just feels like it's glow in the dark. I think actually the person that gave it to me said, this is from Egypt, by the way, like a souvenir shop, I guess, but it has a powerful energy, and it's like glow in the dark. Oh shit, I just keep dropping, just wants to, right? And I tried to get this little speck of dirt off of it, but maybe that's a speck of dirt from Egypt. I don't know. You always focus on it being bad, but what if the things that you went through, just hear me out. What if the things that you went through that are still disturbing to think about, that led to more disturbing situations in your adult life, or your almost adult life, or very early adult life, what if those situations shaped your intensity? What if those situations shaped your endurism? What if those situations made you into this queen, the fiery queen? She's relaxed and chilling and radiant. She's got her black cat there too. Like spiritual. Like, what if that's what made you question things in a deeper way? That's what made you really want to understand people and the density and the depths of what they go through. Not just having the spiritual awareness, but you felt in your body, and you still do every day, the depths of what sorrow people go through, what devastation people go through, and then you still choose to keep going. You still choose love, and you still choose to put yourself out there and begin to open your heart up, and it just makes me want to cry. Like, you chose to still keep your heart open and try again, even after a long situations in your life have ended. You still choose to have protection, but remain open. And some of that gets a little, I would say, taken advantage of, I would say. But like, if you really think about it, not playing the victim, but just really thinking, like, you kind of do a lot. It's just your insecurities. Like, you do a lot, and you don't need to do so much. You don't need to do anything for love, actually. I don't know if you were wired that way. It feels like more you were wired in the way of, like, you have to do things for love. You have to put on a face, or like make them feel good, like people pleasing when you get close to someone. But it feels so much better when it doesn't happen like that. The best, like, relationship, the longest relationship I've had, that was, we changed it to be more healthy, but we worked on things to make it healthy. But that situation taught me so many things, and it's like you were learning a lot of things about life, and there's a cyclical nature to life. There are cycles that happen. I'm seeing a lot of wandering. You wander around, and you're learning the power of creation when you're doing that. You're feeling that tease of freedom. How to imbue that freedom and infuse it into every aspect of your life, not just your life. Like, it's not just like a self-serving prophecy, but you are learning to be more serving of yourself, like in relationships with other people. And this may sound interesting, but it's like, no, maybe you did literally everything to make them happy. You have to do things for you, and that sets the boundary, and then that actually teaches them, the other people that you now will attract. So I just keep getting the sun reversed, and it's like, it's just, you got your light dimmed. You got your light dimmed in those situations. That was all for a purpose. I do believe that. And you're repairing your sacral chakra. This one, it feels a little like that, like, but it's a very powerful chakra. Oh, and the element of fire. Okay, so we got literally all this orange here. The element of fire, the sun, and the sacral chakra. Which I don't know if the sacral chakra is technically fire, but it's orange. And it's a creative fire. Think of sex, think of passion. That's what passion represents, fire, right? You're igniting the innocence you once had in a different way because you're going through this cycle. Ooh. You burned through the purity of fire to see your own reflection again, to see your own, I don't know why I said reflection, I meant radiance. Interesting. You may have had situations where, like, you've been reflected what you're being, and anything that really, really upsets you is something that you were unaware of seeing that you're doing yourself. And the element of air and fire, really important here. Yeah, it's like mental clarity. We have mental clarity, which is also air. So it's just interesting here where you had reflections of yourself that have to do with the sacral chakra and passion ignited within you. And you've also gotten to see where those blocks are. And those blocks lead to things that you never wanted to reopen in a vulnerable way. But to feel the abundance and love and peace and true authenticity in your life, it's mandatory that you reopen those and see the truth of what's going on there for you. Are you absolutely terrified of intimacy? Because if you are, and you're still searching for intimacy, or you're not like searching, but you're still experiencing, people are just normal, they just, are attracted to each other, and then things happen. Like, through those situations, are you seeing where you do lack your wanting to be vulnerable, and where are those wounds? And also being very choosing people that are slow with those things, and it's great that you had those realizations. It's amazing that you had those realizations, and they may be like embarrassing, and it may be like against your entire persona, and I got Pisces reversed. You may be, so we got air, fire, and water, specifically the sun, Pisces, and air and fire. You see like the spirituality in things, like I'm like getting up mixed up here. Things are falling off to the degree where you don't know what's happening for you, and that's okay. And we're not necessarily orange, but we're red over here. We're creating a real sense of authenticity, and because you're vibrating at that aura and that vibration, you're attracting in people that are also there, that are patient. There may be something like within your past, like you are really hesitant to explore, but you want connection, and inevitably you'll have to explore that if you have a connection. So you're trying to do that now that sort of like this box. There's like a black box in here, and when people start to get close to you, they start to see that box, the outside of it, and then you're like, I don't really think this is like going, the way to blah, 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 start judging or whatever. Or maybe they're just like not safe people to open up that box too, but you're like, oh, I didn't even kind of realize there was a box like that, and how afraid of it you are to go towards that box. And that is a very extremely valid feeling because of what has happened when you were vulnerable. It's like this, okay, when you're extremely vulnerable, like when you're like just you're with another person and you're being the most vulnerable you can be, emotionally or physically or both, there's stuff that comes up, and what happens? Do you shove it down and continue, or do you stop and feel and listen to your body? Because those are two very different things, and those are two very different partnerships, and those are two very different aspects of life. Because if you're doing that with your most vulnerable things, then what's to say it's like smoking a cigarette? Like, why would I not do that in a situation where I could lie instead of tell the truth? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like to the core inauthenticity. So if you're really honoring yourself and honoring your body, you would not put time limits and things. I was like, I need 2 years, I need this, I need to maintain spiritual awareness, like not connect with anyone physically so that completely so that I can maintain that, blah blah blah. But it's really not all about those limitations that you put. It's really about what you're learning through those experiences and how you want to be treated and how you will treat yourself ultimately. So there's a balance between you have to heal things within relationships with other people. I wouldn't even have seen these things unless I've had these interactions with other people. I wouldn't have seen them. So is that, do you hate that? Do you hate that aspect that you have to not essentially go through people, but you're focusing on loss? It sucks. The loss of things suck. So you're kind of not letting yourself lose the things because you're holding yourself in this mental prison which you can get out of, but you're focusing on how it sucks to lose them. It sucks to change the dynamic. It sucks to hold boundaries where you once felt liberated from crossing those boundaries, So as you change, it's just scary, and it takes a degree of integrity and self-assurance that is molding you for the future, for the people that are going to be influenced by you. So I hope this helped. I really love you. If you're seeing this whole thing, I connect with you, and I mean, things I could not channel things unless they have happened to me and unless they're an aspect of me. And that's why everyone's a channel. Every single person is a channel. If you think this is cool, if you think you want to hear angels, you want to hear things, and you want to read cards, you can do it. Everyone can do it, and it's beautiful. You can look back at your own things and your own videos and be like, yo, that was a message for me. And it's just, you're talking out. You're a conduit. It's like you are the thing, because you inside are not this body. You say, Bob Proctor says, my hand, my face, what is the thing that's the owner of those things? It's the consciousness. It's the you looking behind you, looking at your eyes. So you can use your body as a conduit, as a channel for information based on what you've been through to help other people. Do it for yourself, do it for others, do it in a completely different creative way, through art, through skateboarding, whatever it is that you do. You are displaying information and softness in a way that's creative, in an alchemizing, an alchemical process where you then physically display that truth, that you alchemize yourself through the pain, through the fire of purification. Fuck yeah, we fucking did it. Yo, we did it. And I'm proud of you. And you're fucking awesome. And you're cute and funny and quirky. So let's keep going. I'll see you again.